The tiger doesn't roar to scare you. It roars to remind the jungle who's in charge. When the tiger disappears, the jungle dies. Deer overpopulate. Forests get eaten. Rivers change course. Entire ecosystems collapse. One animal holds the balance of life and death on its striped shoulders. 600 pounds of muscle, teeth that can crush bone. This isn't just a predator, this is the guardian of the wild. Stay till the end, because what the tiger does for the jungle will shock you. There is no predator on Earth that commands the same combination of size, power, intelligence, and lethal efficiency as the tiger. Not the lion, not the leopard, not the jaguar. The tiger is the largest wild cat that has ever walked this planet, and it has held that position for millions of years, not through luck or circumstance, but through a physical and cognitive design so complete, so precisely calibrated for killing, that nature has seen no reason to significantly revise it. It is the apex of what a land predator can be. Everything about it, its size, its coat, its movement, its patience, its strike, exists at the absolute upper limit of what biology allows. The tiger's scientific name is Panthera tigris. It is the sole member of its species, though it exists across several subspecies adapted to dramatically different environments, from the frozen birch forests of the Russian Far East to the dense tropical jungles of Sumatra to the mangrove swamps of the Sundarbans. Each population has been shaped by its specific environment over thousands of years. But the core of what a tiger is, the power, the stealth, the singular focus on becoming the most effective predator in whatever landscape it inhabits, remains constant across every subspecies, every geography, every climate. An adult male Bengal tiger, the largest subspecies, can weigh up to 300 kilograms. Its body length reaches up to 3.7 meters from nose to tail. Its forelimbs carry a muscle mass so extraordinary that a single swipe from its paw can break the spine of a full-grown buffalo. That is not metaphor. That is documented, observed biological fact. A single paw strike. Spinal fracture. The tiger does not need its bite to end a confrontation. It can end one with a gesture. But when the bite does come, and it usually does, it is delivered with a jaw force that crushes through vertebrae and severs the spinal cord, or suffocates through a throat grip held with absolute patience until everything stops moving. The tiger's coat is one of the most immediately recognizable patterns in the natural world. Orange base with black vertical stripes, unique to every individual the way human fingerprints are unique to every person. But the coat is not decorative. In the tiger's natural hunting environment, tall grass, dense jungle, forest with dappled vertical light filtering through bamboo and tree trunks, those vertical black stripes on an orange base create a disruptive camouflage pattern that breaks up the outline of a 300-kilogram predator with a thoroughness that consistently defies belief. A tiger lying still in tall grass is invisible, not nearly invisible, not hard to see, invisible. Animals that should know better, prey animals with acute senses developed specifically to detect predators, walk past tigers at close range without detecting them. The coat works. The tiger hunts alone. Unlike the lion, which compensates for individual limitation through group coordination, the tiger requires no compensation. It is sufficient by itself for any prey animal it chooses to pursue. It hunts deer, wild boar, gaur, water buffalo, banteng, sambar, and in some environments, prey as large as young elephants and rhinos. It has been documented killing adult gaur, the largest wild cattle species on Earth, weighing over a ton, alone, without assistance, through a combination of ambush positioning and a bite to the throat that it maintains through the animal's full resistance until the end. A single tiger, 1 ton of animal, alone. Its stalking behavior is where the tiger's intelligence becomes most visible. This is not a predator that simply charges and overwhelms. It reads landscapes. It identifies the specific behavioral patterns of individual prey animals in its territory, where they drink, when they move, which routes they use habitually, how they respond to wind direction. It uses this accumulated knowledge to position itself, sometimes hours in advance, at locations where the geometry of the ambush will be optimal. It approaches against the wind always, eliminating scent detection. It uses natural sound cover, wind through grass, running water, to mask its movement. It pauses when prey animals look up and resumes when their attention drops. It communicates through behavior a level of situational awareness and forward planning that places it in a genuinely different category from most large predators. The final charge of a tiger covers ground with a speed and explosion that is genuinely shocking given the animal's size. From a standstill, a tiger can reach 60 kilometers per hour in seconds. At that speed, with that mass behind it, the impact of the initial contact alone is enough to knock most prey animals completely off their feet. The tiger then controls the falling animal with its forelimbs, those same forelimbs capable of fracturing a buffalo spine, while the killing bite is applied. The entire sequence from the breaking of cover to the delivery of the killing bite can take under 10 seconds. For the prey animal, there is often no meaningful window between detecting the threat and the end of the encounter. The Sundarbans mangrove forest of Bangladesh in India is one of the tiger's most extreme environments and the location of one of its most documented and genuinely dangerous behavioral patterns. The tigers of the Sundarbans have been hunting humans for centuries. Not occasionally, not as a last resort when other prey is unavailable, but as a consistent pattern of predation that has made the Sundarbans one of the few places on Earth where entering the forest alone carries a realistic and well-documented risk of being killed by a wild animal. These tigers have learned human behavioral patterns the same way they learn the patterns of any prey species. They have learned that humans move in predictable ways, that they are relatively slow, that they are largely defenseless in dense mangrove terrain. The Sundarbans tigers represent something that is deeply uncomfortable to acknowledge, a population of tigers that has incorporated humans into its understanding of available prey and hunts accordingly. The Bengal tiger's relationship with water sets it apart from most large cats. Tigers swim, not reluctantly, not as an emergency measure, but actively and enthusiastically. They cool themselves in rivers and lakes during hot seasons. They cross wide rivers as a routine part of territorial patrol. They hunt in water, ambushing prey at crossing points and pursuing animals into rivers when the chase demands it. In the Sundarbans, where the entire landscape is a network of tidal channels and flooded forest, the tiger's comfort in water is not an advantage. It is a fundamental requirement for survival. A tiger that could not swim could not exist in that environment at all. The roar of a tiger is a physical experience at close range, not merely an auditory one. The tiger is capable of producing infrasound, frequencies below the threshold of human hearing, simultaneously with its audible roar, and research has documented that this infrasound causes a physical paralysis response in animals, including humans, in the immediate vicinity. Prey animals freeze, not from fear in the conventional sense, but from a neurological response triggered by the infrasound frequencies hitting the body before the conscious mind has processed the audible component of the sound. The tiger's roar is not just a territorial announcement, it is a weapon. It can be heard up to 3 kilometers away and felt in the chest at close range, and the two effects together, the sound that carries across kilometers and the frequency that stops movement, mean the roar functions simultaneously as a long-distance communication tool and a close-range hunting instrument. The Amur tiger, also called the Siberian tiger, operates in conditions that are the polar opposite of the Sundarbans. In the Russian Far East, where winter temperatures drop to -40 degrees Celsius and snow covers the ground for months, the Amur tiger patrols territories of up to 2,000 square kilometers. It hunts elk and wild boar through deep snow, tracking prey over distances that would exhaust most predators before an attack was even possible. Its coat is thicker and paler than the Bengal, adapted for the cold and the snow-covered birch forest landscape. Its territory is vast because prey density in that environment demands it. It is a solitary predator operating in extreme isolation across an enormous frozen landscape, and it survives there not by chance, but because it is precisely capable enough to make survival in that environment possible. The Sumatran tiger, by contrast, is the smallest living subspecies adapted to the dense tropical forest of a single Indonesian island. Its smaller size allows it to move through dense undergrowth with an agility that larger tigers cannot match. Its stripes are more closely spaced, providing finer camouflage in the denser vegetation. It is the most critically endangered of all tiger subspecies, with fewer than 400 individuals remaining in the wild as of the most recent surveys. The forest it depends on is disappearing under palm oil plantation expansion at a rate that conservation organizations describe as catastrophic. The Sumatran tiger is not simply endangered. It is at the edge of the point from which recovery becomes biologically impossible. There are approximately 3,900 tigers remaining in the wild across all subspecies combined. 3,900 for the largest, most powerful land predator on Earth, an animal that once ranged across virtually the entire Asian continent from Turkey to the Russian Far East. That number represents a collapse of almost unimaginable scale. A century ago, the global tiger population was estimated at over 100,000. The reduction from 100,000 to 3,900 happened within a single human lifetime. Habitat destruction, prey depletion, poaching for the illegal wildlife trade, and direct persecution by human communities brought one of the most capable predators in the history of life on Earth to the edge of disappearance in approximately 100 years. The tiger does not understand any of that. It does not know about population statistics or conservation targets or international wildlife treaties. It knows its territory. It knows its prey. It knows the particular quality of light in the hour before dawn when the forest is cold and still and the conditions for hunting are exactly right. It moves through that pre-dawn darkness with a certainty and a completeness that has not changed in millions of years. Stripe by stripe, step by silent step. The most dangerous cat that has ever lived, still doing precisely what it was built to do in whatever forest remains.